When I play an RPG, I'm always a good guy. I've tried evil playthroughs before, but robbing people and being a jerk to squad mates is just too tough for me. I'd like to think that's because I'm a good person, then I remember that if you toss me into an airport and tell me not to speak Russian, all of my morality goes out of the window and I'll just obliterate innocent people. Like, what am I supposed to do? Just not shoot? Nah, Makarov, I gotta sit this one out, but you do your thing, it's all good. One of my favorite things when I was a 12-year-old who played Minecraft was to build a beautiful home with a happy family of villagers. Then block the exits and start a fire and see how long it would take for them to burn alive. Or sometimes I just put them in a house made of TNT and Oppenheimer them. Video games are funny like that. I can massacre groups of people and not feel a single thing, but saying a line of dialogue that makes me feel like a jerk, that's where I draw the line. The GTA 6 trailer came out earlier this week and there was a Twitter reply, also known as X, where Elon Musk was saying he couldn't get past the opening of GTA 5 because you have to shoot cops. Why he would purchase a game called Grand Theft Auto that's notorious for violence and crime, you know, you can just read it on the back of the box, I don't know, but I'm not gonna make fun of him too much, cause yeah, sometimes when I play a video game, I feel like a jerk too. The worst one ever for me is in a game called Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. Spoilers incoming. On the last planet when you're at the temple, no seriously, spoilers incoming. After you defeat evil Bastila, you get to declare that you're a light side Jedi now, or you can join her and be evil together and kill your two Jedi companions that you came with. That's not it though, cause then you get back to the beach where your ship is and talk to the rest of your shipmates, and most of them don't want to go along, including Mission, who's supposed to be a 14-year-old girl. You get to do the most evil thing in video game history and Jedi mind trick her best friend, who's a Wookiee, into murdering her for you. Like, story-wise, it makes sense because your character, if Darkseid, is just unapologetically evil. It's not like Anakin in Revenge of the Sith, where he wants to save Padme and for some reason along the way is like, let me murder these children real quick. But still, like, sorry, I just feel like a jerk. Can't do it. There's other instances, though, where I don't feel bad at all, like in Mass Effect. Oh, hey, Sergeant Kathka, you're working too hard. Or when that journalist is trying to pull off some fake news and you get to punch her in the face. Twice. And the third time she's like, oh, let me fight back, and you're like, silly woman, bam. I can't do a full Renegade playthrough of Mass Effect because it makes me feel bad, and in Mass Effect 2, I don't like how it makes you look like a demon, but yeah, when I have an opportunity to push an Eclipse Merc out of a window, I'd be lying if I said I wouldn't take it. And I think that shows the strength of the writing, where you don't care at all about the people you're fighting against and you can kill them without feeling a thing because they're just pixels on a screen and they aren't real, and you understand that. But even though you also understand that your squad mates and the people you're supposed to like aren't real either, you still can't bring yourself just to be a jerk to them, let alone straight up kill them. There's other RPGs like Skyrim where, yeah, I have no issue just straight up murdering NPCs. The only ones I won't kill are the ones that you can't kill because they're part of a quest or shopkeepers. Shopkeepers I'll do anything to protect. Leave Bellathor alone! But if I'm sneaking around Whiterun trying to improve my sneak skill and there's some rando NPC walking around, I'll feel absolutely no guilt about slitting their throat to get my sneak skill up. When I first got Skyrim back in 2011, one of my favorite things was making a save and then seeing how many people I can murder in a given town before the guards got me. And I could do that because all of these people are given a name, but they're all stupid and I don't like any of them.
I'm going to buy the bannered mare from Hulda.
Really, Isolde? I don't care. That's like with the Dark Brotherhood. You have the option to do the right thing and not join and destroy the Dark Brotherhood, but why would you do that? Aw man, the Dark Brotherhood wants me to kill some random NPC I've never heard of that just repeats the same 3 lines of dialogue over and over. Who cares? There's literally zero reason to do the moral thing. In a game like Knights of the Old Republic, you're actually incentivized to be evil because the dark side gets better force powers and you'll get more credits by threatening people and so on. The only reason to not be dark side is because you want to try and be a good person despite the temptation to be evil, which actually works because you care about the people around you and the galaxy, even though it's just a video game that came out 20 years ago. Dishonored takes us a step further, where the more people you kill, instead of either knocking them out or sneaking past them, the worse the city becomes, getting further infested with rats and everyone being sad and depressed and so on. Meanwhile, in Skyrim, do I feel bad about murdering every NPC I come across on the roads? Nope. Outside of RPGs, there's other games where you could feel bad about stuff, but I just don't. Like Call of Duty. Look at this guy. Just some Russian soldier, probably was drafted and doesn't even have a choice. He didn't want anything to do with combat or being a soldier. He wanted to be an electrician and is now just killing time until his service is up and he can go back home and live the rest of his life. Is any of that gonna stop me from slitting his throat? Nope. The one that people always get mad at me for is in Halo whenever I do speedruns. It's very important in combat involves run to shoot and or kill some of the Marines. I've gotten tons of comments and live chats of people upset when I kill Marines, and listen, do I feel kinda bad when the Marines run up to me and are like, oh my god, it's the Master Chief, and then I throw a grenade at their feet? Yeah, I kinda do. Just kidding. No, I don't. And I'm gonna keep doing it. When I was a really little kid and I'd watch my dad play Halo, I remember I'd get mad at him when he'd shoot the grunts because I thought they were cute. Now I probably killed at least 1 million myself. Which, yeah, if I had a moral problem with killing aliens in a video game, it would probably be a bad idea to purchase a game where that's your entire objective. Like if you have a problem with committing crime in a video game, it's probably a bad idea to purchase a game called Grand Theft Auto. And in a game like Grand Theft Auto, the civilians, the cops, they're all basically just interactive scenery that only exists for for you to mess with, which is the difference in why you can commit mass atrocities in a game like GTA or Call of Duty or Halo, etc., while feeling guilty in a game like Mass Effect over just being a jerk to one of your squad mates. Mass Effect is an interesting example as well because of the morality system in the game. It's not really good versus evil, it's Paragon versus Renegade, so whether you're more kind and selfless versus a ruthless jerk. The issue with this is that some of the choices you make are forced into this binary when they're definitely not black and white choices. Like, why is sacrificing tens of thousands of human lives for the Council, who's done nothing but try to prevent you from saving the galaxy the entire game, unequivocally the Paragon decision rather than focusing all forces on Sovereign? I'm not saying the morality should be reversed, what I am saying is that it's not black and white, but instead focusing forces on Sovereign is treated like it's clearly the bad decision and along the same lines as just being a total jerk who doesn't care about anyone. I mentioned with Skyrim that you don't really care about any of the NPCs besides like shopkeepers and maybe Lydia, but one thing it did do well was introduce morally gray quest lines and not treat either option as necessarily the good one. The most obvious example being the Civil War quest line. Instead of one side being clearly the good side and one side being clearly the bad side, they both have their good and their bad. The Empire sides with the Thalmor, who throw people in jail for worshipping Talos, but the Stormcloaks are racist who treat elves in Windhelm like complete garbage. The Stormcloaks want to fight the Thalmor and the Empire doesn't, but General Tullius says they're simply biding their time. It's all complicated and the game makes a case for and against both factions. Meanwhile, in a Darkside KOTOR 2 playthrough, you keep a Twi'lek dancer on Telos as a slave and periodically collect her earnings. One of the best parts about KOTOR 2, spoiler alert, is how they integrate the gameplay and progression into the story. So even if you're light side and not an evil dark side jerk, the Jedi Council still points out to you like, hey, you murdered thousands of people and doing so made you way stronger than when you started. That's not exactly good, that's actually pretty scary. Back to Elon's tweet, he says that he doesn't want to kill cops in GTA, but he doesn't suggest that people who are fine with it are bad people. He just said that he wasn't comfortable with it. And people have different levels of tolerance for doing stuff like that in video games. But the main point is that they are just video games. None of it's real. That's why people have fun doing terrible things in them. And the fact that there are games that can make you feel like a jerk because of how you interact with virtual characters is a testament to the gaming industry and the quality of writing and storytelling in those games. If you feel bad about killing random NPCs in Grand Theft Auto or some other game, that's a little strange. You have less of a tolerance for imaginary violence than most people, but whatever. That's who you are. On the flip side, if you have no problem with being a jerk in RPGs and killing people begging you to spare them, that's fine too. Actually, you know what? No, it isn't. You're a psychopath, you sick son of a bitch.